Hey y'all, it's Chris with Show Up Fitness, favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Today we're going to be going over are carbs bad? Before we get into that, make sure to follow us on Show Up Fitness internship if you want to become a trainer. So we had a client ask us, are carbs bad? Easy answer, no. More complex, let's talk about it a little bit. So you break down carbs simply into sugar and fiber. The basic unit for carbohydrates are monosaccharides, which there's three of them. Mono means one. So you have glucose, fructose, and galactose. Fructose from fruit, galactose from milk. And we have disaccharides where you put two of them together, and you have polysaccharides, which is a bunch of them that create this longer chain. So simply, carbs are C, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, of which you can make water from them. And then when you look at the basic breakdown, sugar and fiber. Now fiber is really good for our gut health, and we should be consuming roughly 40 grams for males, 30 grams for females. And so when you eliminate carbs, you potentially could be affecting your GI health. So let's take a look at why they are vilified today. The ADA, which is the American Dietetics Association, suggests 45 to 65% of your diet coming from carbohydrates. Just let me clarify, I'm not a dietitian, but we're just going to go over simple stuff here. We're not going to tell you that you should be ignoring what they're suggesting, obviously, but this is, I believe, where it comes from. 45 to 65%. If the average American is getting around 2,700 calories. So let's say the average American is getting 50% of their diet in carbohydrates. 2,700, divide that by 2, means 1,350 calories are coming from carbohydrates. For every gram, there's 4 calories. So it's roughly 337 grams of carbohydrates for the average American. Our pastas, our pizzas, our breads, our rices. Look what the average American has for breakfast. Cereal, lunch, sandwiches, dinner, rice, pasta. So it's easy to vilify it, especially with popular diets like keto. Nothing wrong with keto. If it works for you, cool. But if you're an athlete, it's probably not going to work. It's great for special populations such as people who have epilepsy, a lot of seizures. It may help for them. But keto, what it does is it tells you to take out carbohydrates, less than 50 grams a day. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of weight loss and maybe a little bit of fat loss because you're taking out 300 grams of carbohydrates. That's 1,200 calories. So the equation is if you create a deficit, you will lose weight. I hate diets. I think diets are stupid. What you need to find is a plan that works for you. A diet is not doing keto for 3 months to get X amount of weight on the scale. A diet is, the true word means what is sustainable for you for your whole entire life. For me, we suggest at Show Fitness 18 out of 21 of your meals coming protein and vegetables. Fruit, nothing wrong with it. We freak out. Oh, sugar. There's nothing wrong with sugar. It's just easy to overconsume. A student was asking today, well, sugar's bad. Technically, I'm not going to say go out there and just consume a ton of it. It's so easy to overconsume breads and pastas and pastries and chips. Because essentially those are all sugar. It's a lot harder to overconsume fruits and vegetables. So we need to get away from lambasting carbs or any group. Fat, protein, carbohydrates, they're not bad. It's about finding a plan that works for you. If your goal is weight loss, to create a deficit, if you want to gain weight, you need to do a surplus. Another reason why carbohydrates are vilified, type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is genetic, that's the onset. Kids usually get that less than 10. Type 2 is self-induced. We don't exercise, we're not sleeping optimally, we stress a lot. And because of our low activity, high surplus, we create an environment where our pancreas is pumping out a ton of insulin and the body isn't able to take out the sugar. And so therefore, insulin is bad. And now carbohydrates release insulin, therefore carbohydrates are bad. And we can't simplify it like that. If you have type 2 diabetes, you got to work with the proper practitioner to help get that regulated. A trainer should never tell you how to control your diet if you're a type 2 diabetic. That's not in our scope of practice. So to come full circle and to go back to carbohydrates, there's nothing wrong with them. If you have some type of celiac disease or allergic reaction to carbs, or if you just don't like them, you don't need to eat them. But don't tell people you need to do keto, you need to do diet A, B, C, or D. It's about finding a plan that works for you. So we suggest monitoring via food log what you're currently eating. Most people are going to overestimate how much they eat. Sorry, false. They're going to underestimate. I only eat 1,500 calories, but they're actually getting around 18 to 2,000 by about 50%. So it's about changing the behavior. Why are you binging? Why is it that you are unhappy with your approach with food? So let's get down to the deeper meaning on your relationship with food. So calories bad? No. Enjoy your carbs. Make sure to follow us on Show Up Fitness Internship if you want to become a trainer. Also Show Up Fitness if you want to get trained by great trainers.